Have you ever played a game and just wondered, what makes this so good? What makes it tick? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not magic, it's architecture. Today we're going behind the screen to look at the actual blueprint for building interactive worlds.
You know that feeling, right? You're playing a game and you think, I love this, but I could build something even better. If that's you, then you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the core principles of game design, and we'll be using Ernest Adams' classic, Fundamentals of Game Design, as our guide. So we're basically going to walk through the entire designer's journey together. It all starts with that little spark of an idea. Then, we figure out who we're even making this for. From there, it's all about building the world, crafting the gameplay that makes it fun, and finally, adding that layer of polish that makes a game truly unforgettable.
Okay, so where does a game actually begin? It's not with the code, it's not with the graphics, not even the sound. It all starts with the game concept.
And you know, our source material makes a really crucial distinction right here. An idea is just a thought, right? Something like, hey, a game about dragons. But a concept, that's a solid foundation. It starts to answer the big questions. What kind of game is this? Who are you, the player? And what do you actually do?
Just like an architect has to know who's going to live in the house they're building, a game designer has to understand their audience. And this really means knowing two things inside and out, the player and the machine they're going to be playing on.
And look, it's not enough to just know your player's age or where they're from. The real question is, how do they play? Are you designing for a casual player who just needs a 5-minute distraction on the bus? Or are you building for a dedicated, hardcore gamer who's ready to sink hundreds of hours into your world? As the book points out, that answer changes absolutely everything about your design.
And the platform itself, well, it sets the rules before you even start. A huge, sprawling RPG feels perfect on a PC or a console, right? Players are settled in for these long, immersive sessions. But that same exact game would be a total disaster on a mobile phone. For mobile, you need something built for short bursts, for simple touch controls. The platform isn't just a minor detail, it fundamentally shapes the entire experience.
Okay, so with that foundation of player and platform firmly in place, now the architect can finally start drawing up the plans. It's time to start building the world that the player is going to live in.
So the very first step is defining the game world itself. Is it a sprawling fantasy kingdom? A gritty sci-fi galaxy? Or is it modern-day Tokyo? What are the laws of physics here? How does time pass? This is the stage, the setting, where everything else is going to happen.
Next up, the avatar. And this is so much more than just a character model. It's the player's eyes, their hands, their heart inside the game world. That connection between the player and their avatar is one of the most critical links in all of game design. How they look, how they move, how they feel, it all determines how connected the player feels to the world you've built. And finally, we have the engine that drives it all forward, storytelling. A good story gives the player's actions meaning. It's the why. It doesn't matter if it's a simple rescue the princess plot or some complex branching narrative. The story is what provides the context and the motivation that turns a bunch of actions into a truly memorable journey. So, we have a world, we have an avatar, and we have a story. But what does the player actually do? This is the absolute core of the experience, the verbs of your game. This is the gameplay.
Our source material breaks this down so well, using something called a hierarchy of challenges. See, great gameplay isn't about one single giant goal, it's built in layers. It starts with those tiny moment-to-moment actions, like a single jump or a well-timed shot. Those build up into short-term goals, like clearing a room of enemies, which in turn build up to long-term objectives, like completing a whole mission. All of these layers work together, guiding the player all the way to that final victory.
So what governs all of these challenges? Well, that's the core mechanics. You can think of these as the fundamental physics and laws of your game world. How high can you jump? How do you earn more resources? How does your character actually get stronger? These mechanics are the engine running under the hood, and they define every single possible thing you can do.
All right, finally, with the world completely built and the engine humming along, the architect adds the finishing touches. This is the stuff that makes a game not just playable, but polished, immersive, and a real joy to experience.
There's a really crucial point made here about the user interface. The absolute best UI is the one you don't even notice. It shouldn't feel like you're navigating a bunch of menus. It should feel like you're directly interacting with the world. Every single health bar, map, and button needs to be intuitive, clear, and most importantly, get out of the player's way.
And this is where the true art of game balancing comes in. This is such a delicate process of just tuning everything. Every enemy's health, every weapon's damage, every puzzle's difficulty. The goal is to make the game feel fair, but still challenging, rewarding skill without ever being frustrating. And you want to make sure there's no single easy way to win. I'm telling you, it's one of the hardest parts of design to get right.
So here's the crucial point, the main takeaway. Every single element we've talked about, from that first fuzzy idea to the final nitty-gritty balancing, it's all a deliberate architectural choice. It's all part of a single, unified blueprint that's designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to build fun.
So here's what this all boils down to. These principles of design, they aren't some secret language only for the pros. They are a toolkit, a set of architectural plans that really anyone can use to take an idea and build it into a living, breathing world. So, the only question left is, what world will you build?